Big Boys Neighborhood, your girl Natalia here. I am sitting in the studio and I am so lucky to have the two guests in here right now because we all know this. I've talked about it many times. This is my show. I have told so many people to watch on my block. Stars from the show right now. We're about to hit season 2. Diego Tinoco and Julio Macias. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy. Okay. So there's a lot of things, of course, that we're going to talk to, and we're going to try to get to everything as we can. But season 2 is finally here. Now everyone is going to know what you guys have been keeping secret for so long. Mm-hmm. Does the hype before season 2 feel different than the hype before season 1?
For me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first big show that I've ever worked on or been on. So I was expecting like every other project that I am in is it has its exposure and then you move on to the next thing. So I was not expecting it to blow up the way it did. Very happy that it did. And then I thought I was going to be very nervous for this second time coming around, but we all became such good friends that we forgot about the fact that the show's coming out and we're just hanging out. Oh, it's coming out next week.
Oh, that's right.
Right, cool. Yeah. I guess I could start worrying out.
No, definitely. When we shot the first season, we didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we had created.
Yeah.
Definitely after seeing the second season, I've seen it twice now. Mm-hmm. It is so good.
Yes.
It is. If you liked the first season, you're gonna fall in love with the second season.
That's exactly what I want to hear. That's what I look. I mean, fans have been waiting for it for so long, but it was one of those surprise shows that came out. You didn't know what to expect. There was so much heart to it. So it was so genuine. It's fun, but you also fall in love with these characters. At any point reading the script the first time when you were auditioning, did you know how special it was? Or was it just like almost, this was just another gig that I'm auditioning for?
When I read the scripts, I don't think I could have chosen a better role for myself to first start off in. I was just so blessed with it, and I was really hyped.
Yeah.
I was super hyped. I was like, yo, this is the most badass role ever. I was like, this is so cool. As for the script, I was like, I think we have something. I think we have gold right here. I took it to my coach, Aaron Spicer. He coaches like Will Smith and Gerard Butler.
Nice.
And he was like, yo, I think this is going to pop off. And I was like, really? Like, you think so? And it did. So I'm really happy it did.
And what about for you, Julio?
You know, as a Mexican and Latino auditioning and whatnot, you know, you get called in so many times for different roles that seem, some are great that you don't get and others seem very stereotypical and it's like, all right, I'll do it for the job. When I read the sides for Spooky, they gave me the breakdown of the character and I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's a stretch. I'd love the opportunity to play that, but I don't know. And then they gave me the sides for the beach scene. And I just hadn't seen a character that open and that tough and that open about love for his younger brother.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just like, you know what? If I have to come from Mexico and I got to play a role that, you know, stereotypes me in that, I'm glad that it's this guy.
But it's so different too because I mean, I know that a lot of people, they watch the show and they either see themselves in one of the characters or they know someone like that. And at least for Spooky and that scene on the beach and him talking about shallots and like, you know, the cooking, I was like, yo, that was my friend Brian. That was like, he was this tough guy, but like inside he was like, I'm going to make you some risotto. And I was like, what's risotto? I don't know what this is. But people can connect to it so much. What has been the response for you guys when you bump into a fan out there?
They all relate to it, and I think the reason why they relate to it is because it's a story that we all go through, you know? Like, growing up, being a teenager, all of us have done it. All of us are still, some of us are still doing it, you know? And the kids just love it. I mean, they see themselves in our stories, and I had this one kid come up to me. I was at the dentist, and he came up to me, he's like, yo, you're that kid from on my block. He's like, yeah, man, I'm like, how are you? I'm Diego. And he's like, yo, I literally was in a gang and got out, and like, now I'm going to college and this and that. Just because I saw you guys' show. Wow. It really inspired me.
That's amazing.
Like, that is incredible right there. If I could inspire one life, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's unbelievable.
Even if it's just one.
Yeah, of course. And we owe that to the writers, you know? They created the story, so.
Yeah, definitely. Similar experiences, but just like getting like DMs from people saying, hey, I did some things that I had to do for my daughter and I'll do them again. You know, and like some people, like I love how your character really shows that opportunities are out there. Where are those opportunities for the people that take those decisions? And then later on, someone who's never been in that position says, well, there were other options.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, yeah.
But on a fun note, since I don't look...
That's what I was going to say. Like, you obviously get recognized quite a bit. The first time that I saw you with hair, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So with the reaction, I'm sure, is different.
It's like a... or something along those lines. And that happened with my mom and me at Universal or at City Walk. We were walking and we were just talking this and that. And I was born in Mexico City, but I grew up here in the Valley. So City Walk was like my Chilangolandia. Like I just walked around there.
It's free. Let's go.
Exactly. And so like it was just something that me and my mom always do. And then this one girl like saw me and she started crying. And it wasn't a mean thing. It's never happened to me. So I laughed. Yeah. And then she was like, no. She got so embarrassed. And like, I kind of like not chased her around this thing, but I was like, no, it's fine. You can like, I'm good. This is my mom. Like, you can take a picture. Thank you. So that's very fun for me to.
I think the moment you maybe hit them with the eyebrow and the squint, and they see it right then and there. How long did the tattoos take? Because there's not that many, but there's a couple.
I said 20 minutes, maybe.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
the stencils are already made, so it's just kind of in there.
Now on set, you two guys talked about like now that you went into season 2, season 1, you had that time to form that bond. What really does happen on set when you guys aren't filming?
These
are when the secrets come out.
We're having fun 24/7. We're either rehearsing or having fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, either one of those two. And fun, there's so many different things that we do. We'll go out, we'll hang at Julio's house. He has the most beautiful like hangout spot. Nice. It's like so ideal and perfect.
Yeah, on set, I try to. I'm not like necessarily. I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis walking around like spooking out, but there's a different energy.
Yeah.
So I have to like kind of step away because then I'll very easily just start being really bubbly, and Lauren will be like, "Hey, Julio, I need the other guy."
Yeah. Did you guys do anything beforehand to bond, being that you guys play brothers on the show?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them how we like? The first time we met, it was great.
Oh, the first time we met? You tell that story.
Dude, it's amazing.
Please tell me TJ's involved somewhere. No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So we get called in to do the chemistry reads. I'd only read with the casting, and they brought me in, and I met all of these people, and there was other people inside doing the read for Diego. I think it was Diego and the other guy that was playing. Yeah.
And the other Oscar.
The
other
other
Oscar.
ones. They're us.
Yeah, exactly.
The other guy walks in and he's kind of like, whatever. And then Diego comes in and we're both wearing black t-shirts, black jeans, and blue jeans and Converses. Like we were like, and he just points at me, goes, Oscar? And I'm like, Caesar? Okay, cool. And then from there, we just like kicked it.
That's nice.
We did the audition, and what scene was it? Was it the it was a scene when he hands me the gun, and I tell him,
this is how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a moment, like I started yelling at him in the audition. I'm like, you played me, like this and that. And he grabs my head, smacks his forehead on my head.
Oh my God.
And then he just like goes into character. I'm like, oh my God, like this is kind of scary, yo. This is really scary.
So intense.
As soon as we finish the scene, all the producers just like start clapping. They're like, phenomenal, this and that. We walk out. I'm like, bro, we got it. We booked it. I was like, guys, don't even bother. Like, we got it. Like, I'm just throwing it out there.
Were you as confident as him?
No. Not that I was glad with my work, but it's just kind of like you got to keep on.
You're an
rolling.
actor. Like they always say, like actors have to always get used to rejection. So I can understand that.
So I've been beaten down so many times that I got out of the room and I was like, no, that felt fantastic. If I get to work with this guy, it'll be a blessing. And it was.
And it really was.
And I feel like, okay, we said this before. I don't even want to know the spoilers. I've done everything I can to not watch like fan theory videos and look things up because I want to be as surprised when I'm watching the show. But I do feel like one of two things are going to happen. Your guys' relationship is going to be strained in a sense, because had he not asked you to shoot Latrell, and then your friends wouldn't be dead or fake dead or whatever it is right now. Because again, March 29th. Or I feel like because you asked him to do it, and because Caesar didn't shoot him, you now are going to get pushed into the arms of Spooky because you saw, like he said, if you don't handle this, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
I'm like, close.
Yeah. Well, what we can say from Netflix is we are on the outs. Okay. Whatever that means. We are on the outs.
We're figuring out what our relationship's gonna be moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke to Jessica Marie a couple weeks ago, and love Jasmine, the character, and I was
She's
like,
my girl.
she's amazing.
Jessica's
right?
my girl.
I was like, can I just come home with you? And she was saying, that we're really going to get to see more of Jasmine in that character. Can the same be said for your guys' background? And then we talked a little bit about the relationship, but also Spooky as well.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that without necessarily saying anything, Spooky was around when him and his friends were little. So it is perceivable that the crew knew who Oscar was before he became Spooky. And I think that there's a nice couple of moments in this scene where we're reminded that Oscar grew up in that same neighborhood and he was a kid growing up doing similar things, so.
I know that you guys can't say a lot, but are there other people in your lives that are like always pressing you for because we left with the huge cliffhanger of even before, okay, so when Jessica came in, I hadn't seen the trailer yet. It hadn't dropped yet. And then it came out a couple days later and I was like, girl didn't even Ruben wakes up at the end of the trailer. I was like, oh my gosh. So she couldn't even say that. Yeah. But are there people who are like, please just tell me?
Yeah, I have a scene. I was doing ADR the other day, and I recorded the scene. I set it up and recorded myself doing ADR, and you can see the scene in the background. And I show my dad the scene. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch a scene? It's from episode 9. And, it's a lot of action going on. And my dad's like, why would you show me that, man? Like, why would you do that to me? Why would you do? Because it's a cliffhanger. And he's like, why would you do that to me? You said you wanted to see it.
Funny, my dad too, but the opposite. So my dad, what his business is, he's in dubbing. So he owns a company that translates movies and TV shows to Spanish and Portuguese. So he's always, he's a very hardworking man, and he appreciates a lot of things. But movies, music, he's not like he'll enjoy it, but he doesn't necessarily care too much into it or dive too deep into it. And he calls me after he finished watching. Him and my mom watched the first season, and he's like, "It was great, all these things. So what's gonna happen? I can't tell you that. I don't know, but I'm in the business. Yeah. You do the dubbing later on, Pops.
I gave you life.
I'm not gonna tell anyone. Just let me know." And then he pressed on it really? Until today. He's like, "So you're really not gonna tell me until the second season comes out?" I'm like,
you have to watch with everyone else.
Yeah.
How has the show changed your life?
It has given me a reinvigorated purpose to keep on auditioning and keep on working.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say same. You when you first start off acting, when you first start off in the industry, it seems like so far away. You know what I mean? And I remember going to the chemistry read and going home, and I was like, yo, I witnessed the gold. It is possible. I got so close. Even if I don't book this.
Yeah.
I saw the gold. I witnessed the gold. It's there. All I have to do is get it, get really good at acting and get it. If it's not this one, it's the next one. And then when God blessed me with this one, I was like, oh, shoot. Maybe it's, very possible. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And then it just becomes the most streamed TV show of 2018 for season 1.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then, you get all the other stuff like free stuff at every event you go to. I went to this one event, they gave me a free trip to Puerto Vallarta,
oh my God.
Bogota, and I was like, this is pretty awesome.
I just play the older brother. I don't get any of that.
I'm sure there are definite perks, but it seems that you two really enjoy the craft as well. I mean, we see a lot of people just want to be famous just to be famous, but you guys enjoy what you're doing, and I think it translates into the show. So wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you guys are having fun.
It's the funnest thing ever.
What was Jessica's wedding like? Because both of you,
really cool.
Everyone was there, right?
Yeah.
I gave an impromptu toast.
Did you?
I was very proud of it, but my wife was like, yeah, we're here too.
Do you guys, now that, season 2 is done filming, you all, obviously you guys are so busy though, but do you get a chance to come back together when it's not an event for the show?
Yeah, I think so. Usually when, because Brett, Sierra, and Jason are on the East Coast. When they're out here on the West Coast, we usually all hang out.
Yeah.
At least once. Yeah.
Have you heard anything season 3?
Just keep pushing is all I heard.
Pushing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to get one though, because this next season is just so far.
That's so exciting. Both of you guys are Latino actors, and I have at least seen with Netflix being able to finally see representation on shows, like it's starting with like Orange is the New Black, and you're seeing these not only just Latina actresses being represented, but women in general and their stories. Even though you guys have been blessed with this show, do you still feel like Hollywood is taking too long to evolve when it comes to sharing and, really highlighting those Latino stories?
Yes, but I think it's also a time for the consumer now to realize that Hollywood, in its sense, isn't a small town there is a small town with a small amount of executives, but everyone has a camera now. Everyone can have a platform. Gentified first came out on YouTube, and now it's like getting picked up and doing other things. We can wait for Hollywood to change and do it, and it might be too slow for other people. And some other people, my mom's like, everything's changing so quickly, and my sister's like, it's not changing fast enough. I think that's all a quick reward system that now we have with social media, where we need the change now, and we should have the change now, but we don't need to wait for them to do it. We can all tell our stories in multiple platforms, and even just like little tiny stories on Instagram.
Do you experience like only ever really getting like not stuck in a box, but like my sister liked to act when she was young, and she would go out to these auditions at like 12, 13, and it was only ever a Latina, only ever, you know what I mean? And she never got to go to the, because they didn't believe that she could be anything besides a Latina. Do you still feel like that happens?
I mean, after the show first released, I think I auditioned for like 30 roles, and all of them were like gangbanger, like criminal, in jail, this or that. I was like, okay.
It happens.
Cool. But,
we can let ourselves get beaten down and broken down, or we can just be like, I'll do it. And I'll do it with heart.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you do these roles, right? You build up the credit, you become, this star name or whatever, and then you make the change yourself. You don't wait for it to happen. You do what you got to do, keep your good morals, do the roles. And then when you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to do that role anymore. I want to do this role. I want to play the lawyer. I want to play the, I don't know,
I think
something
it was
different.
Michael B. Jordan who said that he only auditioned for white characters. It was like there was a period where he was like, don't send me on anything that calls for a black man. Call for it. Like, I want to audition for everything else. Because I want to break the stereotype. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I can't imagine, like always feeling like I am more... or we can share these stories, but at the same time, what are you guys going to do in your future to celebrate your Latino heritage?
So I like to produce. I started a company with my business partner Alfredo Ibarra called Blank Films, and so we started doing music videos for Sony Music Latin, Universal Latin. Gloria Trevi, we did like a long form music video for her. So for me, it's, I guess, continuing doing what I'm doing. Like I said, small little projects that nobody is seeing, unfortunately, but all I'm going to do is keep on doing them and keep on working them. And the people that do see them, hopefully, are like, that's cool. Maybe I can do something too. I don't have enough power or time or patience to change things on the larger scale. So all I'm going to do is So I'm going to work on the micro things.
Yeah, that's really cool. What about you?
Writing, for sure.
Okay.
I love writing. I've always wanted to be I wanted to be a writer before I wanted to be an actor, but then my doctor was like, "Oh, you want to be a writer? You're gonna be broke." So I chose acting, which is strange because that's like the next thing. It's like, "Oh, you want to be an actor? You're gonna be broke too."
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I've always loved writing, and I want to write projects that I'm passionate about, stories that I'm passionate about. I've always been in love with telling stories and stories just in general. So the fact that now I'm on a platform where I can hopefully get something to some eyes that might be able to produce it, or shoot, I might even produce it myself,
Yeah.
I want to write some stories.
Nice.
And maybe all of it be in Spanish.
That'd be so dope.
That'd be awesome.
¿Hablas español? No sabía.
Claro que sí.
Season 2, what do you hope the conversation, what kind of conversations do you hope that people have after watching season 2 of On My Block?
There's a lot. There's so much.
You're like, what can I say without ruining anything?
I think we cover the spectrum of life this season.
Okay.
Like everything, like loss, love, tragedy, babies, guns, fights. We cover everything. I mean, this next season, what the writers created this season, it was like such a joy to act.
That's cool.
It was amazing.
I think you could almost take it almost like a handbook on how to push past. You have to grieve to get past it, but how quickly the crew pulls together and is like, whoa, we gotta keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
And the whole season is how all of these kids move forward into adulthood after having this happen. Yeah. So hopefully the conversation is, you don't have to get stuck in the sunken dark place. You know, you can push forward. You can find the light in the most horrific caves.
Definitely. I seriously, I'm not kidding you. I wasn't like let me binge this in the last 2 days kind of girl. I watched from day one. So I absolutely love this show. So I was really happy you guys are here. But I do want to play a game with you guys. As you can see, there are some note cards and some pens in front of you. We're going to play the brother game because you guys play brothers on the show. So I'm just going to ask a couple questions. Some of them are going to be about the other one. Some of them's going to be about both of you. And we're just going to see what you both answer. Okay. So the first question is, who takes longer to get ready? Good job. Okay, the next one is, what is Diego's pet peeve? Let's see if you can guess it.
Do I have to write it down too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that we know that if you...
I have so many.
You have so many.
Shoot.
Let's see what they're writing. Let's see. Double dipping, not getting right the first time.
Not getting it right.
True, actually. Very
Not
true.
getting it right the first time.
Very
Sorry.
true.
Secret with double dipping is you dip, and then you bite, and
then
you
use
flip.
the other side.
And if
See?
you
Flip and
really
dip.
No
flip and
one
dip,
understands
You gotta
that,
flip
though.
and dip. Okay, what is Julio's favorite snack at craft services?
At craft services? Oh, easy.
I like that he knows. He's like, oh, it's easy. You have to write yours down.
Oh, shoot.
Did you see the answer? Don't let me
I
see
haven't
it.
seen the answer.
Okay, good.
Do I eat on set?
Water. He's a
Water.
donut.
Donuts.
Yeah, right. This is all of our favorite snack on set.
You're like, why are
They
you
like
outing
stuff
me?
us with Krispy Kreme over there.
The trainers are gonna come by and be
About
like,
Yeah, I think we
About
all
that.
put on like at
Yeah.
least 5 pounds after the shoot was
I was
done.
cool with it. That was my whole thing. I had to gain the weight, so I was just like, yeah.
all right, the next one. Who's the better dancer? Oh, what? It's not giving you skills. Do you stick with just like the side step?
I think we both do. We
Yeah.
we were at a club the other day and we were dancing for Jessica's
for her birthday.
for her
okay.
engagement party.
And yeah, it was funny.
It's safe to say we both.
Yeah, I can move.
Okay.
Exactly.
And I consider it dancing.
I'm very disappointed in both of you. I needed, I
No
wanted
one's
to know
ever
that you guys
taught
have some
me.
like salsa moves, some merengue.
No one's
cumbia.
ever taught me.
No, I got knocking on the door.
Yeah,
I got backing up the car.
while I'm seated.
While I'm seated too.
I've never seen the backing up the car. I've seen back up the bus. I used to see that one.
Oh,
back
backing up the bus.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is, what is Diego likely doing when he's not on set? Sleepy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. All right. The last one is, what is Julio's guilty pleasure TV show? Masked Singer, that cooking show. Oh yeah, I know that cooking show.
Cooking
I
show.
thought it was that cooking show when they play reggae.
Oh, the Untitled Action Bronson show. I do.
yeah.
I do watch
Delicious.
Vice.
Isn't that
It's
right?
delicious, yeah. I watch Vice on loop.
That's awesome. The Masked Singer. So we had T-Pain in, and we were like, "So are you the Masked?" This was before the Masked Singer aired.
Oh.
Like, are you the Masked Singer? It was like just before the finale, and he was like, "I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about," and like literally made the entire room believe that he was not. The next day, we were like,
Oh, wow.
He was so good.
I heard about that, yeah.
Because he was dropping a single. So we're like, oh, he's here to talk about the new music. And he was like, I've never heard of that. And then I was like, you're not this. And I showed him like the photo of the monster. And he's
Because
like,
you sound just like him.
yeah. And he was like, you think I'm a monster? And I was like, no. And then he made us believe it. You guys, thank you so much for coming in. I had such a great time with you. Congratulations on season 2.
Thank you.
Crossing fingers for season 3. And we all know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Watching season 2 on Red Block. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.